guys, hello and welcome to the very good show on Happiness Per KM, where we talk about new motorcycles, custom motorcycles and everything about new age motorcycles. Today I am going to Capital Harley Davidson to see the newly launched Pan America 1250, and I am with Zeeshan today, who is a fanboy. Anything remotely Harley Davidson is his
I'm an
love.
aficionado.
Is an aficionado, like he said. Personally, I don't really like the Pan America a lot, but Zeeshan, on the other hand, has got something else to tell us. So Zeeshan, what is your take on the bike? I find it very ugly, to be very honest.
See, first of all, a disclaimer. I do not like ADV motorcycles because I'm a purist. A motorcycle should look like a motorcycle, which is what a Harley Davidson is, or a Royal Enfield, if you're going to come home. But about the Pan America, I think Harley Davidson is going into uncharted waters, but with the right equipment. I think it has everything to succeed. It will beat the GS 1250 one day. Yeah, he may do this. He's a Corona spreader. I'm just kidding. But still, Harley Davidson will succeed with the Pan America, albeit they should name it Pan India if they're coming to India.
Okay, guys. Let me. that's the good thing. Yeah, it should be Pan India and should come in tricolor.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the world of transformation, where the Mercedes is trying to become a BMW and BMW is trying to become a Mercedes. At the same time, BMW in motorcycles is trying to become Harley Davidson with their new launch, which is the R18. I mean, not exactly new. It's just been less than 1 year since they launched it, and they are entering Harley Davidson's territory. And personally, I don't like it because they lack the pedigree. They lack the cruiser pedigree, right?
I would disagree with that because traditionally the R9 and the R18 were, in fact, sort of cruiser, standard motorcycles back in the day.
A standard motorcycle, not exactly bomber cruisers. They have never made bomber cruisers.
But they were used in the military.
Of course, they were used in the World War as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Harley Davidson, of course, they also lack the off-road pedigree. They don't know anything about off-road.
I agree with you insofar as choppers and bobbers, etc.
Correct.
That is Harley Davidson.
Correct. That is Harley Davidson. What about the long beards, no gear, tattoos? Would you do? Would you do that on an ADV?
That wouldn't look as cool as on a BMW, right? So similarly, a Harley Davidson should not be defined by the traditional views we have about the brand. That's what I feel, right?
But how do you take the brand mentality out? You know, people, they are used to seeing something.
Just like Triumph did. I think that's a company that's gone out of its mold.
Okay, let me tell you, Triumph have been doing it gradually. No?
Yeah,
they have been doing it since the 60s. They're moving out of the modern classic category. They move to races, they move to off-roading, and now, as everybody knows, Triumph is moving into proper enduro category as well. So I think they have mastered it beautifully. So guys, in a few minutes from now, we'll be reaching Capital Harley Davidson, and we'll speak from there now. As promised, we are at Capital Harley Davidson right now, and this is the motorcycle that I was talking about, the Harley Davidson Pan America. The model that you see here is the S version, which is top of the line, but there is another version which has got all the panniers and top rack and everything, and that has got one thing additional mechanically, which is the electronic suspensions, front and rear both, which is quite something which is unheard of in the GS territory. Talking about the suspension, the electronic suspension for both front and rear is something which is not very common in the ADV field. Only the Ducati, they have recently launched the Skyhook suspension in the 950S and also in the V4S. So this is something which is very much new age, high tech there in the Harley Davidson, as against their other models which are quite primitive and simple to use. So this is laden with a lot of electronics. So guys, I'm really not convinced with a Harley Davidson badge on an ADV motorcycle. So Zeeshan is here to bust some of my myths and preconceived notions about it, because as per the spec sheet of the motorcycle, and also from the fanboy here, sorry I'm using the fanboy word quite often, as per the fanboy, This motorcycle is at par with the best in the business, which are like the Multistrada V4S and the BMW GS 1250. Let's do a quick review of the bike. How does it look? Because right now they are not giving us any test drives because this is in transport mode. No electronics are working. We cannot fire it. This is just a monument as of now.
Yeah, so Sumit, insofar as the technical ADV sort of stuff is concerned, you are more adept at it. But from a Harley guy's perspective, you can see a lot of changes that have been done which are not like Harley. There's an adjustable windscreen, it seems, which is good for touring.
Yeah.
Then there are these hand levers which are also adjustable, and there are a lot of controls as you can see, which is unlike any other Harley that I've seen ever.
Hold the thought. Hold the thought. No, any European bike will not have so many buttons.
Sure.
This is a distraction.
You're right.
They are very, very particular about not distracting their rider or a driver.
Sure.
You ride a BMW, you know.
So, Sumit, this is the first iteration of this motorcycle, and it'll obviously have its niggles, right? But experienced riders like you or myself will ride it and see whether it does perform up to its mark or not.
So here, one negative point to Harley, lot many buttons. Not that Africa Twin doesn't have it, but still, I don't know what is wrong with Japanese and Americans. They are so fond of buttons.
The other thing I like about this bike is the massive front end. Now, of course, it's not meant for looks alone. It's very functional. And when I say it's not meant for looks...
Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max. Exactly. Almost like it's out to save you from absolute annihilation.
Apart from that, what I would say is it's very functional. It has an aux light unit right underneath the headlight.
Yeah, so it seems to have an all LED setup with the aux lights, turn signals, and the headlight. So yeah, because of all these lights, I don't think visibility will be a problem with this bike. So it seems that finally there is a purpose to all this madness and this Mad Max look. And I'm quite sure of it. Harley would have taken GS as the benchmark and said, we need to better this.
Okay. Yeah, of course. In the BHP, in the so you're talking about a lot of functionalism in this motorcycle.
It seems so.
Okay, so let me put things into perspective. An ADV has to be functional.
Of course.
Okay, ADVs per se are ugly motorcycles. A lot of people say that.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, that is a fact. But the kind of duty, the kind of support they provide you in the middle of nowhere is something commendable. So I think Harley have somewhere got it right. The time will tell after the test rides and the ownership experiences that we are going to share on our channel. We'll see how these motorcycles fare. So I'll give you a quick roundup about the tires. It has got industry standard 19-inch front, 17-inch rear, tubeless spokes, as I have mentioned earlier. One thing to note, which is very, very vital for an ADV, is the low-end torque. And without even riding, I can say that this has got oodles of low-end torque. How? Look at this sprocket here. It is humongous. It's huge. You won't see such a sprocket in a BMW or even a Ducati for that matter. So this is absolutely a brilliant addition to this motorcycle. I think the riders are going to be happy when they are able to cruise on the sixth gear at about 27-30 kilometers per hour.
Sure.
That's a delight for any ADV rider. I'm a fan of low-end torque, and I always...
A lot of traditional Harleys also, they have that traditional low-end torque, which is humongous. Now, all riders, they love torque.
In the heat management department, I really can't comment as of now because I haven't ridden this motorcycle yet. But yes, expect certain amount of heat hitting your legs because I can see the position of the radiator is quite low. So all your heat will be concentrated between your knee and the foot. So make sure you're wearing high riding boots with it so that the heat can be mitigated.
And proper riding pants, like those leather chaps won't work out for this.
Zeeshan, it's always, at GAT. Most Harley riders are not familiar with it. They don't wear gear. So please, guys, humble request, must wear riding gear on every motorcycle. But especially on this, you must wear riding gear because this is not supposed to be parked in your garage. It's not supposed to be taken on your breakfast rides every Sunday. You have other Harley
or to win the best looking Harley competition in India. It's not for that.
Of course, it will look better when it's dirty. Let me say it that way. The battle scars. Eventually, when you will take it to Spiti or a Ladakh, there will be a lot of battle scars on this, and I think you should keep it that way. So, talking about the electronics, it has got the ABS, traction control, IMU, LED headlights, front and rear LED indicators. This has got perhaps a 7-inch TFT screen, which gives you all the information. We have seen it. So coming back to the brakes, this has got dual disc up front. Again, industry standard. 4-piston calipers from Brembo. I think these are the best brakes in motorcycles you can ever buy. And these become as standard in the S version. I'm not too sure about the lighter version. Does it have Brembos or not? Not too sure. Tires are Michelin Scorcher, which are quite nice. The dual purpose tires. Looks like 70-30 to me. 30% off-road and 70% on-road. So it will keep you in one piece when you are riding on gravel or slush or in the sand. Yes, Zeeshan, you wanted to say something.
See, while we sit here and comment on the bike, we actually haven't ridden it yet. Of all the problems that we have with this bike, all the problems that we see, one of them that Harley must get right, and we will know it in one long ride, is this. If they get this right, everything else can be tweaked to make it better than the competition, to suit the rider. This is the part to get right.
Talking about the engine, like Zeeshan is mentioning, that if you get your engine right, everything else is secondary. Yes, I agree to a certain extent, but being a V-twin, now if you sit on the motorcycle, you see the cylinder head's position. It is right near my knee. So it's going to get hotter, just like the Ducatis, where one of the cylinders is up your crotch. So it gets hot. I really don't know if this also gets hot, because this is a metal tank. It is bound to get
One
hotter.
thought on that. This is a derivative of the Street 750 Street Rod engine, which was the first liquid cooled engine that Harley
But they
built.
call this the Revolution Max.
This, yes, it's a derivative, similar in style, with the V-twin. The problem with the Street series is that, what you're saying. The cylinder used to really hurt your legs, the rear cylinder. It was not built for surviving this sort of weather. It used to hurt your knees and thighs all the time. Right there, if you see.
Yeah. Like, fortunately, no leather. Okay, talking about the handlebar. Okay, I'm 6 feet. For my height, this seems to be sufficient, but I don't mind having 1-inch risers in it. I'm a fan of risers. Forgive me for that, but I like an upright riding position. So I would definitely put 1-inch risers on this. And very importantly, this has got.
I'll crack a joke on that. May I? Let's get apes on this, huh?
I've seen a lot of memes on that, by the way. Anyway, so I was talking about the steering damper, which is present in the motorcycle. Let me tell you, the GS 850 and the GS 1250, both of them have got steering dampers. So it is quite a thoughtful addition in this motorcycle. Kudos to Harley Davidson. This is their first ADV, and they have given everything possible available for ADVs in it. The steering damper helps you in managing the bike on gravel, on sand, on slush, because it keeps the handlebar straight. So no matter how hard you press the handlebar or out of panic, many riders do it. They hold the handlebar harder whenever they are on gravel or slush. The steering damper keeps things in check, and you don't fall. I did Spiti last month, and on my GS 850, I've got the steering damper. I didn't fall even once. Of course, I am quite experienced in handling ADV motorcycles, but still, a lot of people do fall when they don't have a steering damper. So quite a good addition. People may argue. They may say a lot of electronics, a lot of support. That is not how real riders ride. When you are in the middle of nowhere, you are on uncharted territory. I think these things matter. They do matter a lot.
The less is more principle is not applicable when touring. More is always more. The more the options, the merrier.
Correct.
Sumit, one more thing that we left to point out. The brake reservoir is unlike other Harleys. At least in this, you can see what's inside.
Absolutely. You need to see it. What is the level of your brake oil? Because that is quite important. When you are touring, especially, you need to know how much oil is left. Have you run out of it or not? Suspension travel. Suspension travel is about 190 mm. which is at par with the 1250GS, but not at par with the 850GS. 850GS has got 220 mm of suspension travel in the front forks. So that is something I'm not really happy about, but since it is an industry standard, I can't really give any negative marks to Harley for this. So time will tell how does it perform, and of course the marvelous electronic suspension, which will soon we will see on the Harleys. That is going to be amazing, especially for shorter riders. They can tweak the height of the bike. So
Even the seat can be adjusted three ways, I think.
is it electronic?
No, it's not electronic. There's a lever there and you can adjust it up and down three ways. Sumit, as we were discussing earlier, again, looking at it, I can't find any fault in this. And of course, I'm, as you said, a regular Harley rider, and you're an ADV rider. This is the first product by a Harley Davidson
But they've done a
in a
brilliant job.
category which is dominated by BMW or Triumph for the Europeans.
Correct. Yeah.
But needs have to change. Harley has changed. BMW is making. I think the real question that Harley should be asking is whether the Pan America can actually traverse Pan India. Because our terrains are something else. They are incomparable.
We've got everything. We've got desert, we've got mountains, we've got coastal region, rainforest, we've got everything. Yeah. So I think this should be termed as Pan India for India, and they should launch it in tricolor. Okay, speaking about functionality, this bike speaks functionality all around. See the side mirrors,
Not teardrop anymore.
not teardrop, no funny business. It is very functional, squarish, rectangleish. You get great field of vision. I think this is something which you need in an ADV. I find the mirrors which I've got in the 850GS and also in the 1250GS, the view from those mirrors is not really good. You need wider mirrors, and this is something which is good. May not look good, but very functional. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope I've answered a lot of questions about the Pan America, and we'll be soon coming up with another video where we are going to ride this motorcycle and provide you some insights, some more information about how it rides. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, the time is now. We are called Happiness Per KM. Subscribe now. The button is somewhere here. And thank you very much for Zeeshan for joining us. And that's it. Thank you for watching, guys.